I love this part of the program where we do a little, is this a real story or not? And just so happens today, Greg Martin in studio, comedian.
I love this, too.
This just so happens today to be a day where there are a lot of them out there. A lot of good stories. Or bad stories, if you will. How about the story? Tell me if this is real or not real. 25-year-old Cassandra McWade got into a car accident on the highway in Asheville, North Carolina on Monday. Ken Shoup is the tow truck driver on the scene. He came on the scene. He saw her. She has disabilities, by the way. And he began to tow her when he noticed a Bernie Sanders Feel the Burn bumper sticker. And he then said to her, "I'm sorry I can't tow you. You support Bernie Sanders." And he left her on the side of the road.
Oh, wow.
True story or not?
I could see that happening.
It is a true story. Yeah, absolutely true. Andrew.
I would say in honor of Cinco de Mayo, C. It's a true story.
C. C. Okay, here we go. A high school football player. Oh, this one we know is true. But did you see the high school football player who did the genitalia exposure thing?
What?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
This
see
is
that.
a
talked about that.
crazy story.
Yeah. This the kid apparently exposed himself while they were taking I believe it was a football picture.
It was the high
Team-
school football yearbook
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah, and what he did is he's in the middle there. It's kind of like one of those Disney DVD covers, right? Where you see, what is she doing right there? That's really incredible.
Well, he's facing like over 60 counts of indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Which could be worse if the people in the photo at the time were under 18. as
Well,
Well,
right,
and he's
right.
facing.
He's been indicted, by the way.
Why,
Right, and
why
he-
60?
because there were 62 kids on the football team, or however many players.
But he's also facing dissemination of indecent material to minors, which includes the entire school.
right.
But hang on.
I think that's crap. I mean,
I'm with you.
come on. He's a
And he'll be
stinking-
labeled a sex offender if convicted.
That's
That's
terrible,
terrible.
too. And they're going to do that to him. I'm going to tell you, they're going to do that to him. And I don't think it's right. And the kid should be punished severely. But for God's sakes, he's a high school student. And it's a prank, and it's stupid. And he should be punished for it and learn a lesson. But to have him be tagged for the rest of his life as a sex offender, that's
And
ridiculous.
the terrible thing is he could still face that even if all of the parents or the students who are of age
Yeah,
refuse to
yeah.
press charges. So he may not be facing any charges from his fellow players, but he could still face the distributing
Yeah.
material charge.
That picture never made it to the yearbook.
No,
did.
it did.
It did.
They didn't
That's
notice it
now-
until it was
Well,
published.
I think the photographer is partially at fault.
And the yearbook
we say
editor.
The editor.
Yeah.
Hello, the editor.
does the photographer get dinged for disseminating pornography? For not
Right.
catching that?
I mean, it's not like they had a conversation
This
and
is
they
a-
saw it and they were like, but it's a good picture. Other than that, you know what?
I got to tell you something.
We got to keep it. We didn't have any other good versions.
Yeah, that's right. We had no choice but to go forward. with
Everybody
this.
else's eyes were closed. I mean, come on.
Let's be honest. We can't ask Greg about this because he exposes himself almost on every show. When he almost. It's not
Don't
complete.
spoil it.
Well, I disagree with the photographer part.
Yeah.
Because my
Okay.
wife was a wedding photographer. And I got to tell you, you can't look at every
You're
single
right.
person.
You're right.
It's just too much.
I know it is. It's very hard. You really need somebody along with you to be able to be looking because you're focusing on different things and to be able to.
That was my job.
Yeah. Okay.
I was
that's
as her assistant. That was my job.
so you would be the one in trouble. Sorry, Greg.
But I'm sorry. I would not be looking at the guy's crotches.
That's a good point. Right? Who would be looking there?
I'd be looking for smiles, blinks.
Yeah. Okay. And here's a story. Mom finds dirty razor blade inside daughter's Wendy's cup. Yeah. In New Hampshire. It's a true story.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's a true story.
She discovered a slimy, they're calling it, razor blade in her daughter's fountain drink from Wendy's. It's prompted the fast food chain and the local health department to launch a separate investigation.
Now,
How
the
does
person responsible for that, are they facing 60 indictments?
Yeah.
Are they going to be branded as a sex offender for the rest of their life?
Well, whoever did that should be charged.
This
How
is
does
I
that
think this is
happen?
way more serious.
Yeah.
How does it even happen? How do you?
What do you mean? How does that
They
happen?
just slip the razor into the cup?
Here's another one. This
What, do you
guy
think it was ice in there?
This guy in Alaska bites into a chalupa, and there was a bolt in it. And it looks like what happened, it looks like the bolt probably came off the mixer. And they didn't know, and the guy has dental damage. That's a true story.
Well, that's a little bit more understandable than a dirty razor blade in a cup of soda,
Hey,
you know?
listen, there was a case worse than that. I won't mention the restaurant's name, but a guy was taking a dump in the chili.
I just saw a story like
Right?
that.
Right?
Similar stories to that. It's very terrible. That's why I like to watch everything. You got to watch.
Don't
you
eat
got to be
fast
able to see
food, is
stuff.
what I say.
I love open kitchens where you see everything going on. You know. Or haven't you ever been so hungry it's like you're thinking about it, but you're like, I'm just too hungry to think about it. I got to go with this.
It's like the yearbook staff, you know? Well, it's the best photo we got. So.
Okay, here's another one. True or not true? True or not true? Cops nabbed a Portland, Oregon man who changed he's a convicted rapist who changed his name to Avril Lavigne after his conviction. The 30-year-old formerly okay, I couldn't make that up. That's true. I don't know what they arrested. They arrested him on. I guess because he changed his name, he was trying to change his identity. Why would you change your name to Avril Lavigne, though? Of all the names you could come up with, like Bob Jones or something.
I couldn't. How could he ever do that?
And Seekonk, Massachusetts, school officials there are warning parents about a dangerous trend. Kids are getting high because they are eating what? What are they eating that they're getting high on? And this apparently is something that, I don't know, everybody's got to watch. The answer is seeds. Certain plant seeds, when eaten, give off a chemical which resembles the high that you get with LSD. And the seeds in question are sleepy grass, Hawaiian baby woodrose, and blue morning glory, which you might have in your backyard. If you eat the seeds, you get an LSD high.
Wow.
I mean, you got to give credit to these kids who are figuring this stuff out, right? I mean, who would think, hey, eat those seeds. What happens?
Who's the first one to try it, too?
Yeah,
you know?
I know. Anyway, all right, big hour next hour. It's Cinco de Mayo. We have food. We have some beverage in, and comedian Greg Morton. Lots to do here. Hold tight. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 8 o'clock.